Hello and welcome to Whitney Alex Works recap of The Bachelorette, its 20th season, where 27-year-old Georgia native Charity Lawson is taking the lead. Charity is a child and family therapist and is looking for her special someone. She placed fourth in Zach Shawcross's season, where she got sent home after hometown dates. But even though she fell in love with Zach, she is ready for someone to support her and be there for her in her life as she moves forward with her love story. After a supportive conversation with her family, Charity heads out to begin her exciting journey to find love. 25 men have come to Los Angeles for a chance to meet the newest Bachelorette. Charity herself is optimistic about this whole process and is just wanting the men to be authentic and hoping that they will be themselves. And right away, host Jesse Palmer greets Charity and wishes her the best as the first limos arrive. And despite previous seasons where limo introductions can get out of hand, these seemed tamed based off of a rainy night where this episode was filmed back in March. First out of the limo is Aaron B., a software salesman from San Diego, California. They have a nice introduction as Aaron B. flips seemingly a same-sided coin for an icebreaker. Second out of the limo is a man named Josh, who is a Harvard grad student. Third to come out is Joey, who lives in Hawaii and is a tennis pro. And of course, with more men meeting Charity, more men do their best to try and make a great first impression. We have a man named Chris who does a backflip for her, Brayden, a traveling nurse who wants to take a shot with Charity, and Caleb, who is a pro wrestler in a Western cowboy hat. We are introduced to a contestant named Spencer who seems a little awkward, but Charity handles every introduction with grace and kindness as she has a way of making everyone feel comfortable despite the situation being socially awkward. And as more and more men are introduced, Charity seems impressed and happy about the men who traveled across the United States for a chance to fall in love with her. And with the 25 men introduced and safely inside the Bachelor Mansion, host Jesse Palmer comes to tell Charity that there is one more man that has come, and it's someone she knows. Charity gets nervous, but we quickly find out it's her older brother Nehemiah, who has a plan to gather intel on the men by dressing up in a laughable disguise and be the bartender for the night. Well, with Nehemiah's plan in place, Charity enters the mansion to greet the men that have arrived to compete for a chance to win her heart. Charity is excited for this opportunity and wants everyone to be authentic and genuine during this journey. And with the signatory cheers, the men start to get to know Charity. We first see Joey, the tennis pro, talk to her first, and Joey compliments Charity about being genuine and a caring person, and Charity says that she has butterflies with Joey. James, an attorney from Indiana, he brings a gift from Indiana that includes a letter from James's mother that Charity finds charming, and they read it together. Charity is touched, but James has more for her. He has brought cider and donuts from back home, and the two share the sugary treat together. Charity is then seen having a conversation with Xavier, a biomedical scientist from Ohio, and these two talk about expressing their emotions, and soon Charity has her first kiss of the night with Xavier. And next to make a big impression on Charity is John, a data scientist from Minnesota, and they too share an instant connection, which has Charity leaning in to kiss John. And with the romance beginning to blossom, Jesse Palmer walks in with the first impression rose, and this of course always gets the men to get more competitive, and soon Chris, a world record jumper, is doing more backflips. And then Caleb B., there are 3 Calebs by the way, he starts doing backflips too, and it gets pretty wild all of a sudden as it seems the men have stepped up their game to make an impression on Charity. And soon we head back to kind of awkward guy Spencer, a medical sales director from California who wants to talk to Charity about something that might be too much to handle early on. And that is that Spencer has a son. He ends up telling Charity this, and despite feeling like it might be too much too soon, Charity feels grateful that Spencer has opened up to her, and Charity ends up calming Spencer's nerves. We then switch to Aaron B serenading Charity with a piano, and they end up sharing a kiss. Next, we see Brayden, a traveling nurse from California, who shares a special moment with Charity where he tells her that he likes how Charity shows empathy to people, and soon these two are sharing their first kiss. And with Brayden and Charity kissing each other, the other men see this and get a little bothered. Meanwhile, Charity's brother Nehemiah has been undercover and trying to gather intel on the men. And when Brayden comes off from having a special moment with Charity, he starts to blab about it, saying he is on cloud 9 about their connection. And then Nehemiah is quizzing the men at the bar, including Brayden, about who thinks they can get the first impression rose. And of course, many of the men are humble, but Brayden says that because of that instant connection, he does believe he could get the first impression rose. And this raises eyebrows, especially with Charity's brother Nehemiah, who decides it's time to reveal himself. He then addresses the men in the mansion and unveils his disguise and formally introduces himself as Charity's older brother. He says he is going to go and talk to Charity about what he thinks so far, and the men are all shocked. And soon, Brayden is in the hot seat as Nehemiah tells Charity what Brayden has been saying to everyone, but mentions that he does like Aaron B. And when Charity comes back out, she asks to talk to none other than Brayden, and the two head off to have a conversation. And it seems like Brayden might be going home, but Charity gives him a chance to speak on what he has been saying about how he could secure the first impression rose. And Brayden says that he doesn't believe he was being cocky, he just was very excited about their connection and how he was just really giddy that he couldn't contain himself. So with that said, Charity says she needs a moment and walks away as Brayden freaks out, only for Charity to come back and hand him the first impression rose. So formally, the first impression rose goes to Brayden. And these two are very excited about each other and they share more kisses. And when these two head back inside with the rose pinned on Brayden, the mood in the room is somber as everyone thought Brayden was going to head home and not receive the first impression rose. And with the first impression rose handed out, Brayden is safe for the first rose ceremony. Jesse Palmer then comes in and announces that it's time for Charity's first rose ceremony. With Brayden safe, Charity calls out the following men in order, securing them a chance at real romance with our newest lead. Aaron B is called first, then John, Xavier, Joey, next is Caleb B, Warwick, Aaron S, Caleb A, Adrian is called, then James, then Sean, next called is Michael, then Tanner, Dotton, Caleb K, John Henry, Josh, and the last rose goes to Spencer. 19 men remain. Contestants sent home night 1 were Chris, the world record jumper, Joe, a tech operations director, Khaled, a tech recruiter, Nick, a HR executive, Peter, an airline pilot, and lastly, Taylor, a loan officer from Ohio. Thank you for watching Whitney Alex Works' recap of The Bachelorette Season 20, Episode 1, Charity's premiere. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe here for more videos in the future. See you soon for the next episode.